couple games in a row where it's, last possession, and your guys found a way to get it and then get a stop at the other end.
Yeah, we always wait for that last possession, though. We've just got to guard better. I think it's really obvious to everybody, and if you look at our 7 losses, they've all been defensive related. We've given up a lot of points. Today we had a good offensive production. Our shooting percentage was good, and we hit free throws and made plays. So everything was pretty good on the offensive end, but defensively, they shot 56%, and you can't do that, not in February. And so we got to get focused in on the defensive end, but I'm really happy the guys found a way to win. They got a big stop when they needed it. Really good defensive play there. Jaleel and Jordan did a nice job. As a coach, I'd wish they'd have done that a few more times during the ball game, but they did it when we had to have it. So I was really pleased about that. And for any team, finding a way to win games this time of year. I'm just a realist. We've got to get better defensively on the 5th, 6th, 7th to be ready for the 8th. And that's what I talked to the guys about. And if we do that, then we can get better as a team. Because I know they want to get better offensively, and we can score. Some of those guys can score. But defensively, we just got to get better.
Speaking of the defense, they were pretty much driving, penetrating at will in the first 12, 13 minutes. Then with 17 or so left, you went to the zone, got the lead. Seemed like the zone was really effective.
Well, it wasn't very effective to start the second half. They went on an 8-0 run,
Were not off. You didn't really get into the zone.
Well, we were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then we went zone one other time later on when KEZI and that, and they drove it on us there too. So in the first half, no doubt, they were 3 for 9 against the zone. The percentages were there. That's why we started in the zone to start the second half. But that 8-0 start of the second half got us changed pretty quick.
So, is there a strategy of going back and forth, or is it just whatever's going to work? You like to throw them off a little bit, switching back?
Definitely. Most teams will change defense. Lorenzo changed. We got a couple man-to-man buckets. They win zone, try to throw them off. When you're having trouble, fighting the dribble, you try to do something else. We tried, doubling a couple picks and didn't get very good rotation when we did. Pick on the balls. We tried doubling a couple. We tried doing some different things, and not a lot of it was real successful.
You put Jaleel in as a defensive replacement for that last possession, right? He was on the bench, and then was that the thought that he could kind of get his hands on?
No, he's just a little longer than KEZI, and we put Ahmad in for Dylan, just tried to get a little quicker, and we knew they were going to spread the floor way out and either drive or even look for a 3, so we went with a little quicker lineup.
You talked about defense all season long. Are you seeing pieces coming together, or are you still kind of frustrated that there's
we've made progress, at least now we know when we made mistakes. Early, I don't even think we knew, so at least we know a little bit now, but I think we're a little bit stuck in the mud. People have drove it at us, and we haven't stopped it, and so we're a little in the back of our mind. We got to get some confidence in practice. We believe it or not, we do work on guarding and dribble in practice, and we've got to get some confidence there, really working hard at it, so we do a little better job.
Can getting that stop there, kind of move towards getting that confidence?
Well, every stop helps. We'll show them some of the differences, in the film of where we got stops and why we got them and why we gave up buckets here, and they've got to take that film work and really digest it and try to make some improvement.
What was that last possession? Obviously they get the stop, so it was a good defensive possession. But while you were watching that unfold, were you going, okay, they're playing?
Well, our activity was really good. Yeah. Much the same as our last few defensive possessions against Arizona State. Our activity was much better. We need that activity for longer periods of time. And you can see on a few possessions when we are active, our defense looks pretty good. We're not big, and Jordan didn't get any blocks tonight. Jordan, wasn't protecting the rim like he usually does, and with all those opportunities in 29 minutes, I thought he might get one, and he didn't change many. He just wasn't as active tonight.
Coach, we heard from Joseph Young what the philosophy was on the winning bucket, but can we maybe compare what what you told him to what he said.
Oh, man, I can't hardly imagine what Joe would tell you. No,
So Joe, make the plays, what he said you.
well, we came out of the timeout, and we tried to run a little fade for him to get him a bucket. And then I told him if he didn't have the shot, get it. We'd set a pick on the ball and drive it at the basket as hard as you could and try to make a play. They may step, so I mean, they may come get you, so be ready to make a play. And you know, they didn't. I was a little surprised there. You know, it kept him one-on-one, and he hit the little floater. But no, we tried to run a set play for him. They guarded it really good. They switched it on top. I don't know if you noticed, but they switched it, and then got the pick on the ball, and he drove it hard. So.
A couple games in a row now where he's had that ball in his hand for the last shot. Feel pretty good with that situation.
Well, you know, it's a tough position to put anybody in. You know, I mean, we needed a basket. They needed a basket down there. You know, so I mean, if you expect a guy to make a play every time in those situations, you know, he's hit two. You know, he's had some other opportunities in other ball games. You haven't come through. You're not going to bat 1,000. You know, it's just not going to happen. So, really pleased he's hit the last two because we obviously have needed him really bad. We were down one against Arizona State, so that was really a difference maker. This one was tied. We would have still had a chance to get a stop, but obviously that put the pressure on him.
I feel like your bigs did in this game. They went a lot of 5 guards sometimes. Did it make it things?
Again, Jordan's activity wasn't as good as it has been. You know, Mike and Roman didn't give us much. Roman got caught in a tough spot. They went small when we put him in there, but you know, we've got to get better every position defensively. You know, and so not only the bigs, you know, but I was a little disappointed. Again, Jordan didn't contest a few more shots. You know, we've just come to rely on him so much, and he wasn't nearly as active today.
Going back to that last defensive possession, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you put Ahmad in for defense there, that was the first time he played the entire half.
Yeah.
That's something you're comfortable doing. Guy sits for almost an hour, and then you stick him in a situation like that.
Well, players want to play, you know, so he had a pretty simple assignment. He was, you know, 42 is the only guy that hit threes, and, you know, I thought they might try to get a three, and so I put Ahmad on him just to shadow him and make sure he didn't get a shot. So it was easy decision.
Imagine you're encouraged, at least why I see is you had no turnovers the whole second half until Cook and Bassett tried to dribble in traffic. So I assume.
Absolutely. The first half, you know, those turnovers turned into buckets for him, you know, and in the second half we did a better job. We cleared the side for Elgin there. The guy who got the steal was Joe's man. You know, he had Joe in the corner there, took one extra dribble, should have had it out of his hands. And then, you know, I don't know what Jaleel was thinking. He had, you know, his right hand in the middle cleared, and we had it set. We had a guy in the corner, and then he tried to split those two. So, again, I've got no idea. I asked him, I said, you know, and he goes, Coach, don't, you know, I had my right hand. I know, don't even say it. So, you know, he didn't even let me chew him out. He already, you know, he was taking the blame before I even got it out. So, but he knew he made a mistake, and fortunately, he was able to go in on that last possession and feel really good about that.
Can you talk about Joe's 2,000 points and how big of an achievement that is?
Well, it is a big achievement. You know, you look back in college basketball, there are not a lot of guys that score 2,000 points. And to be very honest, last year he had it easier to score. I mean, he was playing with Johnny. I mean, we had experienced guards, Jason. I mean, we had experienced guards. And so he had it easier last year. This year, you know, we're playing him with freshmen. Jaleel doesn't have much experience. So it has been a tougher year for Joe, you know. We've asked him to guard more. We've asked him to rebound more. We've asked him to make better decisions. So we've placed a lot more on Joe this year than we did a year ago. Last year, you know, everybody wanted his role last year. You know, Johnny, penetrate, look for Joe. DA, penetrate, look for Joe. You know, Jason over there, he had to guard Jason, so the floor was always spread for drives. You know, he had a pretty good job, you know, and now it's a lot tougher for him. So he's fought that. He's done a good job. And, you know, he's had some off nights, which, you know, I tell our guys, you guys are going to have off nights, especially when you're taking that many shots. He's not always going to go. And so, you know, we got to be prepared when he doesn't shoot it well to play well without him. People have shifted some to take him away. Others haven't, you know. So, you know, we got to do a good job. But 2,000 points, you know, for a guy like me, that, you know, 2,000 just is out there, you know. And I've only had one other guy, that Rodney Buford, got 2,200. I think he gave up 2,300, but he scored 2,200. And you know, that's just, it's an accomplishment. You got to be consistent. You know, you got to bring it every night. You know, defenses are going to set for you. So that's something. Yeah.
What's Elgin done the last couple of games to increase his scoring average to about 16 a game?
He's become really consistent in practice. His mental focus has gotten better. He's more in tune with things. You know, we've looked for him a little bit better. Guys have, because he's scoring, but mostly it's because he's become much more consistent in practice, and because of that, his consistency in ball games has gone way up.
You talked about having to get better on defense, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. With that extra day in between, does it give you more kind of practice time between games than you traditionally would have gotten kind of in that Thursday, Saturday?
Yeah, no, you know, in this case, we get the advantage. I think then we lose the advantage next week. I mean, but it is an extra day, and so that will help us. You know, we won't have to go as hard one day. We won't have to quick turnaround. You know, I was really proud of the guys last week. You know, we got our tails kicked, and one day to get ready. You know, and that was hard on them. You know, Thursday practice, you know, was, you know, cheerleading, you know, I had skirt on. Come on, guys, we're fine. You know, let's go. You know, but it, you know, young team especially. You know, so I was really pleased with that. Now we got another day, and now we got to go to work. You know, it can't be just rah rah. It's got to be, we got to get better. And I think if we do that, we can keep making progress. This team hasn't scratched the surface of where it can get to. On the defensive end. Offensively, we're doing a lot of good things, but defensively, it's just not there. We got to get a lot better.
With the season getting shorter and shorter and the games getting more important, how do you handle the pressure that comes with that with such a young team?
They don't know. I mean, it's more pressure on the coaches than it is on them. They're just playing, you know, and so, you know, they're fine. They're fine. They're excited about playing, and you know, the freshmen haven't hit the wall yet, so they're pretty excited about playing. You know, I think we're in pretty good place, other than, you know, getting some stops. You know, I think we finally got to back up on the boards, you know, beat somebody on the boards. And so, you know, other than the stops, you know, we're in a pretty good place. Just got to get better.
You feel like this team maybe then is older than, maybe more mature to handle that pressure?
Oh, I don't know. One of the guys, you know, looked up, I think we're like 291st in age. We're the 291, you know, we're really young, and then we're 300 and something size-wise, you know, so, you know, we're not big, and we're inexperienced, and that's not usually a good combination, but Joe and Elgin and those guys have fought pretty hard. And again, if we get better defensively, you know, we got 5 road games left. We're going to have to get better defensively. So, you know, that's our guys' challenge, and I sure hope they accept it, because they're a good group of guys. Good group of guys. I've enjoyed working with them, you know, and we just got to get better.
You progressed in some way. I know it's only been 3 weeks. You lost a couple games you were in at Washington 3 weeks ago, and now you've won some close games. Is there any just maturity or progression?
Winning close games and losing close games is a habit. You know, there's no doubt about it. You get used to winning close ones, and you feel really confident. You lose some close ones, and it really wears on you. So, and we struggled with that last year. You know, we lost those 4 two-point games, and if we wouldn't have had Johnny and Jason, some vets, those guys wouldn't have bounced back. Johnny and Jason, those guys did a great job last year, you know, because we lost 4 two-pointers, and a lot of teams, you know, that would have hurt them. But Johnny really gave us something, Jason, and we were able to bounce back. But winning's a habit, losing close ones a habit. I think teams get into a little bit of a roll there, you know, where, you know, they're looking for bad things to happen, you know, and if you're winning close games, you're looking for good things to happen. So it is pretty important to win those close ones.
Do you mind reflecting any more on that one practice then at Arizona? And because that sounds like maybe it might have been kind of a turning point.
Well, I was just really pleased with Elgin and Joe, you know, and letting them know, you know, we've had to bounce back before, guys. You know, not from a loss like this, but we've had to bounce back before, and we've just got to bounce back. And I thought they did a good job, and Jaleel and guys who've been through it, hey, we've lost games before, we got to bounce back. And that was a bad one, but we got a game right away, and let's get ready to go. We had a light practice, but it was spirited, and you guys did a good job. All right.
You got a team coming in that gave up 108 to the last time in overtime.
Well, they had 5 extra minutes. We only gave up 90-something in regulation, but
Speaking of stops.
no, we didn't get any. They didn't stop us, we didn't stop them. I mean, it was 90-something to end of regulation. We just fouled them in overtime, and they hit free throws, and we didn't score. So, but they did it at Stanford the other night too. They got Stanford going up and down, and Stanford didn't get stopped. So, no, we're going to have a heck of a time stopping them, because our zone isn't anywhere near where it needs to be, and has given them some problems at times. But our zone hadn't been effective against many people, so we're just going to have to guard them and do a lot better job than we did last time.
Any thoughts on facing Ernie for the first time here?
No. Ernie's a great guy. As I mentioned earlier, when I took this job, he was great to me. He's been great to me. He was working for the Pac-12 network and always really generous with his comments. And so I've got nothing but great respect and great feelings for Ernie because, he was great to me in a tough situation, and it showed a lot of class. And he's done a hell of a job this year. There is no doubt about it. He's got them playing with confidence, and they're winning games. And they started off really bad. They didn't. They got popped a few times, and he's kept them going. And big win over Stanford. That, we've got 3 NCAA tournament teams for sure, and Stanford's one of them, and they got a big win over them. Last time out. So I'm sure they'll give Oregon State everything they want tomorrow, and I know they'll be ready Sunday when we play them.
What was it like for you going back to Creighton that first year then? Did you have any extra emotion when you were
Oh, it's probably similar. I was at Creighton for 16 years, and Ernie was here for 13. So, those are long periods of time, but I had such great feelings for Creighton, and a lot of those guys were my guys that I, recruited. So that's what made it tough there. The fans are great to me for 16 years, and they were great to me that night, but it was a lot different because my players were still there. Coach Kent's guys are, long gone, and so that's easier for him in that regard because you're not playing against your guys. But, he was here 13 years and played here, so he's got a lot of friends,